Hello and welcome back to Pagoda. I'm Chantal from South Africa.
I'm John from America.
Walter from Australia.
Sam from England.
So today we are going to give you a few tips on how to improve your listening skills. I think people have various different ideas on how to do this, so we'll each give our own personal tips on how to do it. Some of it might be the same, I feel, as well. But I mean, you've got a variety to choose from what works best for you then. So personally, my main tip for when I studied Korean as well was a lot of repetition. I found that just watching Korean dramas for fun was fun, but it wasn't really helping me because I wasn't too focused on just learning what I'm listening to. I'm looking at the pictures. So it was a lot, when I had to study Korean, we had to do homework sections that's just audio and just listening to the audio and repeat until I heard everything clearly. That kind of helped me a lot more than looking at pictures all the time. So I think for me, it's not about watching and enjoying. It's like go back, watch it again, or listen again, go back, and short pieces.
Right.
What about you?
You know, I'm going to echo that. I'm going to agree with that because I think one of the best tips that I received in studying Korean, but also I think it works for a lot of people, is the repetition. So, for example, I also agree, if you do watch a drama, do it for fun, do it for relaxing. I don't recommend it for listening too much, but what I do is I take about a 5-minute or 10-minute-ish, but usually 5-minute clip and just repeat it for about a month over and over again until I have almost not memorized, but I'm very used to that clip. And that way I get to not only get my brain used to it, but I also get to maybe learn a little bit more vocabulary.
A month?
Yeah. I mean, I don't listen continuously for a month, but every day for a month, yeah. And then I also recommend no subtitles. Don't turn on subtitles.
Yes.
You just start reading and your reading skills get better, but your listening stays the same. Turn those off.
My reading skills are top notch. What about you, Walter?
For me, I would always advise maybe getting a study buddy, maybe like language exchange or even possible like phone English. And I always tell my students to, if you can, with the permission of the other person, record those sort of conversations. The reason why is because they're as natural conversation as you get. There's no acting, there's no anything, it's just people talking and saying what they want to say. When you go back and record it, hopefully you have the ability to slow down the conversation during the recording, try and get their sort of their speech patterns as well, their flow. And so maybe you could go from, listening to it slowly and then gradually increasing the speed until it becomes more natural. That's how I usually tell my students to do, and it helps with certain people.
All right, how about you, Sam?
Yeah, same.
Same.
I would do what everyone said, but if you're just beginning, kind of stick to one way of doing things. Whether it's, I really like the study buddy idea, and then watching a drama as well, of course. If it's, I don't know, like you can pick one that you enjoy, but watch it for like the second time and go into that study mode.
Right.
You can't do it for the first time.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
You shouldn't really think of that whole episode as your study.
No.
What I tell my students that if they really want to use a comedy or drama as their studying, I say first watch the full episode just for enjoyment, and then maybe plan out, if you're really studious, plan out like most episodes go for 25 minutes, so plan it out over from Monday to Friday. Every day you'll watch 5 minutes. Monday you'll watch 5 minutes, and then you'll review all the vocabulary, listening as well. Tuesday is your review day, so you'll review the 5 minutes you listened to yesterday, and then add 5 more minutes on, and then eventually you'll get a full episode in a week, and you're constantly reviewing, and I think the best thing, as we've all talked about, is reviewing and listening again and again and again.
Right.
Eventually, that will help.
Yeah, don't do it in like episode chunks.
Yeah.
That's way too much.
No.
I think that's when people stress a lot as well. It's
And
like,
it's overwhelming.
They think
you
like,
know.
oh, I haven't retained anything.
Yes.
It's like, well, you're consuming too much.
It's too
Exactly.
much.
Like,
Yeah.
way too much.
Like even if it's not related to listening, but like learning new vocab. I tell students, try 5 new words a week.
Yeah.
You know, not a day.
And master
a
those
week.
words.
It's
right?
not-
Like,
yeah.
It's small bits over a longer period of time.
It's not the quantity, it's the quality, right?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Okay, well then to sum up what, all the tips we've given you, I mentioned that repetition is really important.
I would say don't force the listening and no subtitles.
study buddy and record, listen again and again.
Yeah, what they said, same thing. Stick to that. They said everything I need to say.
Right, well then that is it for today. Short and sweet, but I think and I hope it's going to be useful for
Oh,
everybody.
of course.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching everybody.
Make sure to like.
And subscribe.
And drop a comment down below.
All right, see you next time.
Bye.